have to worry about extra people today. So,
Okay.
so let's go with 9 minutes, just in case.
Our favorite song. We're going to start at measure 71, and we're going to speak it through first, just to refresh our brains. This is a hard one to start the morning off with. Eyes on me when you're there. Measure 71, page 13, third system. Cool. Got some eyes? Yeah? And then if you can just play parts. Page 13, third system. This one. A Girl's Garden. Page 13. Okay. There we go. Third system. Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
When she sees in the village, how village things go. Just when it seems to come in right, she says, I know. It's as when I was a farmer.
Triple.
Oh, never by way of advice. And she never seems like telling her tale to the same person twice.
Yeah, okay. Let's do that one more time. And I'm gonna, there we go. Okay. Back to third system of page 13. Just speaking it through.
When she sees in the village how village things go, just when it seems to come in right, she says, I know. It's as when I was a farmer.
Triple.
Oh, never by way of advice.
2, 3.
And she never sins by telling the tale to the same person twice.
Yeah. Okay. On parts. Are you feeling better about it?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yes. I think we're good.
Cool. Great. Rhythms are good. So we're gonna add pitches. And let's go ahead and start at measure 68. So first, top system of that page, second measure. Cool. Okay. Top system, second measure.
When she sees in the village how village things go, just when it seems to come in right, she says, I know. It's as when I was a farmer. Oh, never by way of advice. And she never sings by telling the tale to the same person twice.
Cool. Yeah, we'll get there. Okay.
So Laurel,
Yeah, I think you can do it. Oh, okay. Is it,
I got you. Just go.
should I go forward or back? I don't even know how to.
So I think you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're fine.
Okay.
So the issue, I think the biggest issue is that there are still a lot of elements that people don't have down.
Okay.
And we're trying to do too many things at speed.
Okay.
So why don't you start, because you're doing a good job of managing everything. Like when you did the first thing with the speaking, like I thought that you were managing everything quite well. Can we just start the last beat of 13, it says when?
Yeah.
And maybe let's take it slower and listen for the part that needs the most support.
Okay.
Okay?
It has when I was
Try it again.
Okay.
And I know you're going slower now, so like everyone just watch tempo.
It has when I was oh, never by way of advice, and she never sings by telling the tale to the same person twice.
How'd you feel about it?
It was a little bit more clear. I hear more discrepancies in this area.
So I would say maybe let's do just the bottom two parts.
Okay.
How do you feel about the top part?
Holding it solid.
Okay, so
solid.
let's just hear just the bottom two parts.
That's a good. Okay.
It was when I was oh, never by way of advice, and she never sings by telling the tale to the same person twice.
So, of the two parts, which part needs more help?
I think the middle.
I think it's the middle, yes.
Okay. I think it's the middle. Yeah.
I agree.
All right, so
But there
just
also might be problems in the bottom.
there are.
There are problems.
So let's just isolate one thing at a time.
All right. Okay. Let's go middle part first. Can you raise your hand if you're singing the middle? Oh, cool. All right.
It says when I was a farmer, oh, never by way of advice, as she never sings by telling the tale to the same person twice.
All right. That was a lot better. Go to the bottom part now. Let's check that out.
It says when I was a farmer, oh, never by way of advice, and she never sings by telling the tale to the same person twice.
Okay. A lot better. Can we add it all together? Or-
Okay, so adding it all together seems like the logical next step, but what could they not do just 2 minutes ago? The two parts
Yes.
together.
Okay.
So before putting the third part, let's just do the two parts.
So good. All right. Middle and bottom parts. Let's do this.
It says when I was a farmer, oh, never by way of advice, and she never sings by telling the tale to the same person twice.
that was much stronger than what you
Okay.
did before.
It is much stronger than what you did before.
Okay, let's try all three parts without the piano.
Okay, great, great. That was a lot better. I heard some chords lock in there, so that's good.
Okay, I want you to do that again,
Okay.
just what you just did. But I want you to play around with the tempo style.
Okay.
So when you first come up here, time. Oh, yeah, let's know.
Falling down on the job.
Like this happens, and then it kind of went away, and then it came out towards the end. I think it's kind of when you're trying to like think what's happened. So just try to keep the hands clarity and where that is. Okay? Yeah, and you like to live here. Just bring it just a little bit out. Okay? All right, thanks, Laurel. Thanks for being first. This little light.
This little light. So here's the thing. I cannot talk very loud today, and I cannot hear much. So, if you're going to say something to me, you say it loudly. I cannot say anything loudly back. So, sorry about that. So I'm going on page 5. Again, we're going to look into the lead up into measure 44, 43, starting at 39. There's 4 bars leading into the all through the night. We'll do this last little section again.
Okay, Graham. Overall, sometimes it's clear what you want, sometimes it's not, as far as like, do you want to carry over or do you want to
Is
breathe?
there a specific thing that
So the Pacific's place is,
Because I'm trying to do it more with the eyes than with anything else.
Okay.
I'm trying not to be overly reliant.
yeah,
on the
and
eyes.
I think we'll address it. Let's start at measure 51.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. So when we get to the portrait.
I'm going to
52. So what I'm noticing is that your down, it's faster than the rest of your pattern. If you can just even out the speed of your pattern just a little bit. And then when you get to those carry parts, like I do like what you're giving us as far as you, just a little more sweet. Like, so like, I'm going to let it, no, that's not it, that's all. 3, 4, and just maybe just a little forward and out on that.
Okay.
And I think with what you're doing with her face, it'll be really clear.
Just to keep the connectedness.
Yeah. Start, same place, 51.
Okay.
And can you bring the whole pattern down just like 2 inches? Like you start there and then it kind of creeps up, okay?
Gotcha.
What I'm kind of talking about, like I think that extra little pull will help show like we're connecting this phrase. Yeah, that was perfect.
Okay, gotcha.
As we move forward, you need to be thinking about how you are going to affect the sound in real time. And so, for instance, this unison singing is not terribly, you may not have to support, but the word shine and light has a lot of variable vowel sounds. Okay. And now you guys are going to sound great doing them because I just alerted you to it. But it could be a gesture. You could do something with your hand. It could be a left-hand gesture. You could model it on your face. A lot of people do that. All right. The last playing was really good. The last time you were here, where your playing was good. Be careful. Like again, look at speed. Just, when you're practicing, just take 4 patterns, just like try to keep it all in the exact same speed. There are times to do that. Towards the end, I think it was better. When you first got here, the hand, yeah. We're on the right track. All right, same piece.
Same piece. And we're starting at 39.
Okay, I like what some of those melding moments. There was some expressive, especially in the very the first part of this. Let's start over again. There's a couple places where it's just unclear where you want to find consonants. So let's do it again, and then we may look at another little thing.
Right at 43?
Wherever you started last time.
Okay, 39.
Now, let's say 30% is your shoulder, 30% is your elbow. And then, no, let's say 50% shoulder, 30% elbow, 20% is your wrist. Like, it's all part of a fluid motion. And so just be careful that this doesn't, and then, like, if you're only using your wrist, then it kind of draws your attention there. So it's just opening up, okay? So let's try it from, where do I start?
43.
43?
Yep. But I think it's clearer. Do it again, okay? Like our focus is now here as opposed to here. Okay.
43?
With it, instead of just doing 1, 2, it could be 1, 2. You know, it doesn't have to be just like our normal different patterns. Okay, I want you to do what I was just talking to Graham about, which is I want you to try to affect their vowel shape. Okay? And there's plenty of room for improvement. Okay? Right where they start singing. How much time do we have?
We have, I think, 2 minutes.
Okay, yeah, 2 minutes. Great.
43?
Don't worry so much about the melding stuff, just think about the vowel thing.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. 43?
And it could just be you put the vowels on your face.
Okay.
Okay?
20. And we're going to isolate parts before we start all together. I want to work particularly on the top part first, just because I know we have a lot of, not syncopation, but we have different rhythms. So, yes, who's my top part? Okay, all over here. Yay. Okay, measure 20, and can you play all of the parts?
information, and when you were giving us information, we were attuned to it. And that made us have an easier time of figuring out where to carry and where not to, so that's it. I
Yay!
do want you to just be careful of beat 2.
Okay.
So, right now, we're getting kind of this 1, 2,
Okay.
3, and I
Too
want you
much.
I want you to think of changing that direction so we can really, because right now it's kind of amorphous where 2 is. So I just want you to 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yes, that's much clearer.
Yay!
Okay. All right. Okay, keep going.
Okay, yeah, let's carry on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's just carry on all parts, just playing parts, no. Oh, well, actually, that's acapella. Once we get to the just play parts. So, yeah, yes, okay. Awesome. Measure 38.
Tis the sigh that is wafted across the
Can you play the parts at measure 38? Yes. Sorry, I think I wasn't clear.
Okay.
It's a solo, but you guys can all sing it if you want. I just want all parts though. Okay.
I'll see you.
So we get started with it just
Why don't you go back to what you were already doing?
Okay.
Let's just try to make it as beautiful as possible.
All right, sounds good. Measure 20. Keep playing parts, and then once we get that solidified, then we can get the accompaniment with that. Measure 20. Okay. Okay, let's start over. Can I have eyes on me, please?
When we seek mirth and beauty and music light and gay, there are frail forms waiting at the door. Though their voices are silent, their pleading looks will say, "Oh, hard times come again no more." 'Tis the song, the sigh of the breeze.
So keep thinking about how you want the phrase shape to grow within the pattern, like what beats are important, what aren't. Just be careful, beat 2 looks better, but you're bringing it in to right here. Just
Okay.
try to keep maybe the whole pattern just out in front of you just a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
All right, thank you.
Yay.
More garden.
The easy one.
Since I struggle with different things, we're gonna start from the beginning. Simpler things I struggle with.
Neighbor of mine in the village likes to tell how once May, when she was
unhappy about things. Do you want
With
to just...
myself, yeah.
Okay, well, part of this is, you know,
About me.
like, if you're unhappy with things, you have to have a little bit of a poker face. I mean,
Yeah,
part of the maestro identity is that you never make a mistake on the podium, which
Right.
I don't think you should ascribe to, because I think owning your mistakes, like, builds rapport with your singers or students. But let's just start right where they start the measure that they come in.
Yeah. Okay.
Neighbor of mine in the village, let's tell how was free. When she was a girl on a farm, she did a childlike thing. One day she asked her father to give her a garden plot to plant and tend and reap herself, and he said, why not? In casting about for a corner, he thought of an idle bit of wall of ground where a shop had stood, and he said, just it. And he said, I want to make you an ideal one-girl farm and give you a chance to put some strength on your slim jim arm.
Okay, good. Much better. Like, you're definitely much more in control. And,
Yeah.
Let's do that second doodah, that second part.
Right.
Pick up to measure 7. You're breathing with the choir, but you're breathing through your nose,
yeah.
and so it's really subtle. Like, I can tell you're breathing with them,
Yeah.
but just open your mouth even if you're still breathing through your nose.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be audible, it doesn't have to be.
Right.
And then just it, I want you to really clear where you want that T on just it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Yeah.
one is you do a gesture with the hands, one is just you breathe, and that might help. Okay?
Alright.
All right. Last measure, page 6.
Yeah.
Measure
Casting about for a corner, he thought of an idle bit of wall of ground where a shop had stood, and he said, just it. And he said, that ought to make you.
Stop. Did you hear it?
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
So it could be, you could just do set on B3, B4, just it, and just give a hard ictus on 4.
Yeah.
Or you could just breathe. Just it, by breathing on B4,
Okay.
that will probably put the T there. Okay?
Alright.
Same place.
In casting about for a corner, he thought of an idle bit of wall of ground where a shop had stood, and he said, just it. And he said, that ought to make you an ideal one-girl farm and give you a chance to put some strength on your slim jim arm. It's not enough of a garden, her father said to plow, so she had to work it all by hand, but she don't mind now. She wheeled it on your river, along the of road, the shovels and the wagon left. Nice blow.
Okay, good. You're doing a fine job. This is a question for everyone. Look at the last measure, page 7. Look at the accompaniment, and then measure 8, page 8, the next first measure. Then the next 2 measures. How is the accompaniment different? So Taylor says it changes from flowy to choppy, or backwards. Okay, I'm not trying to like. Okay.
It's more connected because there's kind of.
Yeah, it's more connected. So my question is, should the pattern look different? Yeah, I think it, and I don't know. What do you guys think?
Pattern should look different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, it should just the gesture should reflect what the music is doing, right?
Right.
So if it's the go 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 You just iron it out just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you get back to that, like, that choppy stuff. Something else I was gonna say. Her not nice low, right there, since it's syncopated. No, it's not, it's on the beat. But I think it's just rhythmically really exact. That's where you can really get really sharp. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
Yep, alright, do this whole, actually do the transition over.
Yeah.
And he said,
Yeah, and he said that ought to make you.
yep.
Measure 20, page 7. Beat 4, pick up 21. Yeah, measure 20, pick up into 21. Yeah.
And he said that ought to make you, that might you run, go far, and give you a chance to put some strength on your slim Jim
It's flowy.
It's not enough of a garden, her father said to plow, so she had to work it all by hand, but she don't mind now. She reeled the dung in a real pair along the special road, but she always ran away and left her not nice.
Yes, it's on the right track. I like that you tried to do a left-hand thing with on the word.
Yeah, I just got uncomfortable. Yeah.
Left? Yeah, so you brought the left hand out and then it went right here and then it kind of went away. But the instinct was right. I want you to lean into that. So let's go. She peeled the dung. And how many choral pieces have you sung with the word dung in it?
Every single quote piece of every song.
Let's just go to it's not enough of a guard. Start there.
Oh, okay.
And all I care about is this arm just to give us support. Yeah. Left. Yeah.
Okay. So it was not enough. Yeah.
Thank you. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It was not enough of a garden, her father said to plow, so she had to work it all by hand, but she don't mind now. She reeled the dung in a real barrel on the stretch of road, but she always ran away and left her not nice.
Okay, I like the precision on that last measure. Left-hand stuff is you just have to practice it some for it to feel comfortable. Just be careful. Sometimes you're giving us a little too much wrist flicking.
Yeah.
Okay, so just try to iron that out. Like I said, try to keep it. This is all.
It's all one thing.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Meredith. Jake, we had Fizz go on Monday, so that you could possibly go. But if you're not prepared,
Fun. Yeah. I will for sure go.
Okay.
This is the Herbstlied, the light blue one.
Oh, good. We're going to sing Herbstlied today. I got some side eye right here.
So last time I started from page 4 at the bottom system. Let's start from the beginning now. And let's just do it on solfege in A minor. It's the Herbstlied. We'll just start from the beginning. And this is in 4. So the 8th note, I'm going to be connecting the 8th note. So the 16th, ready? And 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. Starting pitch is E. Awesome. These are so ready. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes. The snapping is very metrically accurate, but what does that teach them to do?
Oh, okay.
not look at you at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Sure.
you could just be snapping and just
Okay.
not watching, okay?
Okay. Cool. Ready and ready. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, I want you to do that much again. Overall, what your hands are doing, I really like. What's doing, the biggest issue I see right now is when you're breathing with the choir, which is great, but you're doing this kind of like you're coming in and down when you breathe. And here's the thing, it's like what they see is what you'll get. Like, there's this guy named Rodney Eichenberger. He was choral conductor at Florida State for a long time, and that was his whole mantra, is like what they see is what you get. And so he did these like little experiments where a conductor would come up here and she would just tilt her head and conduct, and slowly you would see it throughout the choir, all the singers would eventually just start tilting their head the same way as her. And so that's the thing, is just those small innocuous cues of you kind of coming in and down, you're bringing your neck forward. I want you to think about how Dr. Hightower breathes, right? It's always kind of, like he always kind of like lifts up his chest and like, yeah. And so, so just think a little taller and try not to bring your neck forward.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, same thing.
Same. Okay. Are you guys good to try it on no?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No.
No. Okay. Ready and 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're trying to control them. They're gonna do it. Just breathe. Okay?
Yeah.
Like you're in collaboration. You are not like master and slave. Like it's like
Okay, same spot. And 1, 2, 3.
Let's see if this might help. Instead of doing a catch breath, I want you to think about breathing like a full, like,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
Because I think that's part of it, is you're wanting to like breathe from the whole choir very quickly. Okay?
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay. And 1, 2.
Breathe. Breathe. How does that feel?
It feels good. I'm just used to doing like a really, yeah. Yeah.
And you can do that. I mean, you can. I mean, you'll just get a whole choir of everyone doing that. Okay. So this time, I want you to do it again and just go towards the phrasing that you had before. I know you're thinking all about. Just think a little bit about your breathing. If the breathing stuff comes back in, it's not a big deal.
Okay, gotcha. Same spot. And 1, 2, 3.
singing and you breathe, like you really think about keeping this all tall, but you have a tendency here, even then, even though it's getting better, it still has this tendency to collapse in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So watch that in the video, but think about, and like I said, you're trying to get them to come with you or something. And so just try to keep that.
Mighty.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Garden. Join me at top of page 13. Top of page 13. Ready?
She sees in the village how village things go. Just when it seems to come in line, she says, oh.
Three.
It's as when I was a
Okay. You remembered a lot. Well done.
I don't know that you need a beat 2 on I know. I think just give them a prep. I think giving them 2 beats there.
Just prep them in.
Yeah, think of the cutoff as beat 2 and then just give them a prep. I think that will clear that up.
Okay. So I'll just prep them in. Okay, so let's go to, actually that's perfect. Let's start right there. I'll prep you guys in. And I'm going to do 3 different things. But not all at the same time. One at a time. I want you guys to watch and tell me what I did differently. There will be a quiz. Here we go. Prep last beat. 3. One more time. Here we go. Last beat, page 13. Here's the prep.
It's as when I was a farmer. Oh, never by way of advice.
Second time. Prep. Here we go.
It's as when I was a farmer. Oh, never by way of advice.
Third time.
It's as when I was a farmer. Oh, never by way of advice.
Sorry. Let me do that again. But do you guys see what I'm doing?
Okay, so of those 3 that you did, which was the most successful?
Number 2.
And the reason why it was most successful was because you breathed with them that time.
One more time. Here we go. Prep 4.
It's as when I was a farmer. Oh, never by way of advice.
Again. Pitch by pitch. I'm going to cue you pitch by pitch. So hold it until I cue you. Okay? Here we go. Here's prep. It's as when. Bottom 2 parts. Here's prep.
It's as when.
Lowest part. Here's the prep.
It's as when.
Keep going. Middle part. Okay, middle part, here we go. Prep.
It's as when I was a farmer.
Here we go. Bottom 2 parts. Prep.
It's as when I was a farmer.
All together.
It's as when I was oh, never by way of advice. She lessens by telling the tale to save her person twice.
Cool. All right. One more thing. I don't know how much time I have. I'll go over here actually. So we've got a note, and a note. We've got staccato. We've got this guy right here. Got legato. D, do, da. See if you guys can find a single da.
Yes.
But on do do's on the marking to the right, and D's marking to the left. Okay? As they come up,
Oh, okay.
use those words. Cool? We're going to do pick up to last beat of 13 again. Here we go. You guys understand?
Yes.
Good? Okay, just want to make sure. Here we go. Bass part. You guys come out a little bit more. And here we go. D D D D D D D D or D D D D D D D do. Thank you. Thank you. That was a test. That was a
So,
test.
okay, this is an interesting exercise.
Yes.
Again, you need to scaffold it for them. So before having them sing it, just having them speak it is probably,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Trying to figure out.
And if it's all about articulation, then have them speak it with their articulation.
Okay. Let's have you guys speak it then.
Because that's what your end goal is, right? This is all about
Mhm.
articulation.
All about articulation. Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Let's do it then. So pick up last measure. Here we go. Oh, you guys are so good, so good. Okay, one more time, or do you guys want to add music now? Add music now. So pitches now, still D, do, da. Cool. Words last time. So first, yes, I already told you. You know. Here we go. Brett. Thank you for doing that. I can do that better.
Okay, so my question for you is, can you show more of the articulation in your pattern? I think you're thinking about it, but like that tenuto, is there really weight? And then like are we wanting that? And then when we get to D, you know, like just can have more flick in it? For that?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it. Here we go.
Thanks, guys. We're on the right track. I like that you're thinking about those things. But yeah, think about weight and speed for
Okay.
those things. Yeah. All right.
Right.
Same thing. It's our last time. The girls go.
Shed a tear.
Let's see.
Well, I don't know if that's what we need to do. I want to start 13 also.
A lot of the stuff Kyle just talked about was very helpful. I want you to keep that in mind, but also notice that my gesture is a bit different. I want some different things, okay? So right now, let's just speak from page 13, and really just pay attention to when I'm sort of cutting off and when I might slow down when it says not to. I might, so pay attention to that, okay? And then, let's see, can we have the accompaniment under that? Awesome. So right at the top of 13, 2 measures before you guys. What's happening, guys? I slowed down there, right? So everybody pretend I'm slowing down a bit. It's the big like da 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 da. Okay? Same spot.
Speaking, right?
Just speaking, yeah.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah.
You were clear.
You can sing speak if you guys.
When she sees in the village how village things go, just when it seems to come in right, she says, I know.
Very nice.
It's as when I was a farmer. Oh, never by way of advice, and she never sins by telling the tale to the same person twice.
Very nice.
Yay!
So, how comfortable are we on this last bit? Could we sing through the last bit?
Sure.
Uh,
What part?
From where we started, can I have some lower altos? Can you take the alto 1 part, and then can I have you two jump down to the bass part?
Sure.
So who wants to do that middle line?
I'm already.
Sight read it real quick. Alright, cool. If worse comes to worse, find a part or speak it, doesn't really matter. Are we good? Alright.
We're not performing this anywhere, so like we're
This is
all
a
good.
performance. Performance. Feel good. Alright, same spot.
When she sees in the village how village things go, just when it seems to come and by, she says, I know. It's as
Okay, so we're a bit slow on that. It says when, right? I still want that
So you're
in time.
they're going the speed of your prep.
Okay,
So think of says when.
Okay.
So think yeah.
sure. Can we go right from there? Can we get their pickup notes for that? Page 14.
It's as when I was a farmer.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Farmer.
Oh, never by way of advice.
Start that. It says
Okay,
when.
same pickup. We have the pitches.
It's as when I was a farmer. Oh, never by way of advice, and she never says my telling us tale to the same person twice.
Very nice. So let's backtrack a little.
Actually, before we backtrack, I want you to do that all again.
Okay.
And I just want you to get another shot of all these transitions.
Okay.
You're on the right track. For you, when things are not, when they're not exactly with you, you then you put more weight in everything, and it becomes very muscular.
Okay.
There's a lot of tension there. So I want you to just try to
Okay.
That all relax and just have faith that they're gonna do what you ask.
Okay, cool.
Because they're pretty close with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. So same spot, top of 13, 2 measures before you guys can.
When she sees in the village how village things go, just when it seems to come in right, she says, I know. It's as when I was a farmer. Oh, never by way of advice, and she never sends my telling the tale to the same person twice.
Stop. Much better. Was it easier to sing
Yeah.
for him?
Okay.
Yeah. That's the thing is once, like,
Yeah.
again, what they see is what you get. And just putting that extra tension, like,
Yeah.
just between your shoulders, like,
Okay. If things aren't going well, what do you want me to do gesturally?
I want you just to, I would like, if things are going off the rails, just stop and start
Okay.
again.
What if it's like a performance?
If it's a performance, just don't try to like,
Okay.
like that's
Sure.
I feel like that's where your go-to is right now.
Okay.
Everyone, look at the word farmer. If we had that pattern, so what's the text stress on farmer? Right, it's farmer. And if you don't, so if you do farmer, like if you give just the same amount of stress, then we're going to that vowel, which isn't great. So for all of us, we need to be thinking about text stress, we need to think about phrase stress, and how that is going to translate into our pattern. Okay? And a lot of us can do work on that. So I want you to think about some of those little things as you do all that again.
Okay, sure.
I'm very impressed with you guys that are doing the end of this. This is hard. So those of you that, like 3 of you today, like work on this. So, oh well, you did nice too on the beginning part.
You were fine. Okay,
Just wait till
top of page 13, hopefully the last time. Are we ready? Top of 13? Perfect.
She sees in the village how village things go, just when it seems to come in right, she says, I know. It's as when I was a farmer. Oh, never by way of advice, but she never sends my telling the tale to the same person twice.
Nice.
Oh, it's time.
Trumpet.
Why is there a voice cross at the last measure, last beat of 14? Why did they do that? Like, why would the composer do that? Do they just want this
Be
texture?
funky.
I think it's because it's so dope.
That's probably what he was thinking.
Are you talking about the lento measure?
The last beat of the lento measure, the alto 2 goes from a D to a G, and
Right.
the soprano 2, or alto 1.
Isn't that mi la? So dope. I think it makes more sense, like linearly, horizontally.
Oh, I see. Because it's like the next measure.
Just the timbre changes.
Not a whole lot.
It's just a different.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, who knows? Nathaniel Thompson is the first he's dead. So, you're doing this gesture a lot for cutoffs. I think you can simplify it. It's not a big deal. Sure. All right.
The possibility is
Yeah, just a little tap.
Huh?
But yeah, like I think just
Yeah.
relax. Do you ever have tension in your shoulders when you sing? Do you have tension in your shoulders when you sing? Okay, that's good then. No, it was mainly.
This was commissioned in 1958. So, yeah, he died in 1984.
All right, sound the trumpet.
Alright, so what we about to do is please play parts, and we're gonna go at so if that's measure 25, we'll start at we'll start at the pickup to measure 25, but we won't worry about words. We'll just be on D. Make it easy on ourselves. Alright, I'll give you a demo. Hold on, stop.
This is the pickup to 25?
Yeah.
Okay, so pickups, so the pickups you need to give them you need to give a dead beat and then the 4. So it's gonna be 3. So it's 3. D, D, D. Yeah, so you just have to give them one extra little beat.
Okay.
You don't have to give them the whole measure. Just one extra beat. Okay, you got it. Just give it another shot. There you go. Okay, so how would you price the performance?
That was we were together.
Okay, that's very kind. I think you just need to take it a hair slower for now, and then speed it up.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, much better. I want you to do that exact same thing. I want you to use just your right hand. I want you to try to keep your right hand parallel to the ground. You're doing a lot of this, and it is obscuring where the beat is.
Still feels weird. Alright, same place.
So that feels weird. Try to keep your hand like that.
Feels like that,
Yeah. Well, it's just going to take a little bit of practice.
But I understand. It's just
Okay.
it's a bit more easy to read.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, this time you can do whatever you want. You can take it up the tempo now.
Okay. It's a little bit faster. Still on D. Still. Nice.
Good. We do that again, and we breathe with them when you bring it. You're doing a great job cueing them.
Thanks.
Because you're doing this kind of like, you're kind of tilting the head left and right. So I want you to breathe with them so that they will not do that. Okay.
These glasses on, so I'm not afraid to look in your soul. I'm so afraid to look at you.
choir, it was like 10 times what you did last time.
Because I can't see you.
So, I would like you to do it again. And again, think about breathing. Can we go to words now?
Yeah, I think we can, we've earned that right,
Okay.
I guess.
To celebrate the glories of His name. The glories of His day.
Your face is like one of the most expressive face conductors we've had this rotation, so that's lovely. Okay, let's go.
A little farther back.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to pick up to 20.
Yeah.
All the instruments, but you know, we'll work our way up to where real quick. Let's go back to D for a little bit. Those first two 16s. Maybe a little slower. I'm sorry. I should have breathed.
This is the exact same thing where you give a dead beat. Breathe. D, D, D. You did it exactly right. You just weren't paying attention to it again.
That much.
So what is one thing we can do to help support them? Scaffold.
It's really
Here's the piano was playing the accompaniment.
yeah. Let me go back to parts again. Sorry, I should have told you. Yeah, parts.
So how would you price that?
The parts on the piano helped.
Okay.
Oh,
That's not a solid affirmation of the singing, but let's do it one more time. What I would like for you to do though is just be careful about your cueing. It's now you're sometimes like bending the knees and like yeah. So just a little more grounded. It's not a huge thing, but
Okay. One more time, same thing, and maybe just the musical spirit will hit us.
other than that last measure, that was some of your best conducting.
Yeah,
so
no,
far. It's really nice.
It's
Okay. We're gonna wrap up class there. Yeah, just keep working on the hand thing. Like I can tell that it's not natural for you. Whatever you're doing,
I wonder
if you want
my
to be
face
nice
is
to your fellow